Today, we are diving into a technology that feels like it's been ripped straight out of a sci-fi movie, but believe me, it is quickly becoming science fact. We're talking about brain-computer interfaces.
So, is that just a cool idea for a movie, or is it where we're headed? Well, let me tell you, this is not just a hypothetical anymore. We are right on the edge of a revolution that could completely redefine how we interact with the world around us, and maybe even what it means to be human. And look, this isn't some far-off dream for 100 years from now. The groundwork is being laid as we speak, turning something as invisible as a thought into a real, tangible action. Just take a second and really let that sink in. The simple intention, the thought to move your arm. For most of us, that's completely effortless. But that same thought could one day give someone with paralysis the ability to interact with the world again. That, right there, is the core promise of BCI technology. And if you think this is all just theory, think again. We're way past that stage. Right now, there are clinical trials for patients with paralysis. There's incredible research where monkeys are controlling robotic arms using only their minds. And we're even seeing early devices that give a voice to people who are locked in, fully conscious but totally unable to move or speak. This is happening now.
It all sounds, well, it sounds a little bit like magic, doesn't it? So how on earth does it actually work? How do you go from a quiet thought inside your head to a command that makes a machine do something?
Okay, so think of your brain as this incredible, complex orchestra, a neural symphony, if you will. Every single time you decide to do something, or even just think about doing something, millions of your brain cells, your neurons, fire off in a very specific pattern. It's this constant, beautiful electrical performance happening inside your skull. And that's where the BCI comes in. You can think of it as a translator. Its job is to listen in on that incredibly complex neural symphony, to pick out the faint electrical whispers that signal what you want to do, and then figure out what it all means.
So that the whole thing kind of breaks down into 3 key steps. First, you think about something, which creates a unique electrical signature in your brain. Second, the BCI sensors pick up on that signal. This could be a cap you wear on your head or a tiny implant. And third, a really powerful computer program decodes that specific pattern and translates it into a digital command, like move the cursor left or close the hand on this prosthetic.
Okay, so now that we have a feel for how they work, let's get to the really mind-blowing part. What can we do with them? We're not just talking about small improvements here. We're talking about a complete shift in how things are done in a bunch of different fields.
You can really break down the most exciting stuff happening right now into 3 big areas: absolutely incredible medical marvels, the wild potential of human augmentation, and of course, a whole new frontier in gaming and entertainment.
I mean, in the medical world, the impact is just profound. We're not just improving lives, we're talking about restoring functions that were thought to be lost forever. Giving a voice back to someone who has been silent for years, or letting a person feel the sensation of touch through a robotic hand, this stuff is absolutely life-changing. But it doesn't just stop at fixing what's broken. What about enhancement? What if you could augment your own biology? Imagine learning a new skill just by, downloading the information or boosting your memory. This is where we start talking about human augmentation, and it gets pretty wild.
And then there's the fun stuff. For a peek at where this could go for all of us, look at gaming. Forget about keyboards and controllers. We are talking about a level of immersion where your character moves, or casts a spell, or interacts with the virtual world just by you thinking it. It's the ultimate fantasy, made real. Okay, but with all this incredible power, you know what's coming next, right? This technology brings with it some equally massive questions. We have to talk about the ethical minefield we are about to walk into, because this stuff challenges our most basic ideas about privacy, identity, and control.
This might be the biggest, most immediate question of all. If your brain signals are being read and stored digitally, who owns that data? The company that made the BCI? The government? Do you still truly own your own private inner monologue? It's a huge deal. And that leads to an even more, a more chilling question. If a technology can read your intentions, could it also be used to monitor them or even control them? How do we possibly build safeguards to make sure this never becomes a tool for surveillance or manipulation?
And finally, we get to the really deep philosophical stuff. What does it even mean to be human when the line between our biological mind and external technology starts to blur? Where do you end and the machine begins? Yeah, there are no easy answers to that one.
So,
After going through all the mind-bending possibilities and the pretty heavy perils, let's bring it all back to today and look at what's next. Because this isn't a conversation for our grandkids. This is a conversation we need to be having right now.
And here's the kicker. The revolution has already begun. It's not a distant future. In labs and clinics all over the world, the lives of real people are being changed by this technology as we speak. The future is arriving way faster than most of us realize.
And the pace is just picking up. In the next couple of years, expect to see much wider clinical trials and better devices that don't even require surgery. Within 5 years, we could see the very first devices for consumers, maybe aimed at augmenting our abilities. And in a decade, BCIs might just be a seamless, normal part of medicine and technology.
And that brings us to the final thought, the one I want to leave you with. The scientists and engineers, they're solving the technical problems. The technology is coming, there's no doubt about it. The much bigger question is for the rest of us. Are we, as a society, ready for it? Are we ready to answer the profound questions it's about to ask us?